This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Tuesday, May 4. In Squiz Kids today, warning for online gamers, the world's longest footbridge, May the 4th be with you, and the great grizzly polar bear mashup. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Gamers, beware. The microtransaction is not your friend, and unless you're careful, it can drain your piggy bank. That's the message from a special news report last night into gaming, and how even the free online games are designed to lure players into spending money and make it seem harmless by presenting the purchases as microtransactions. $1 here, 50 cents there, a new skin, an upgraded weapon in your favourite fantasy game. Before you know it, you've spent much more than you ever intended, and your bank account, or the bank account of your parents, is severely depleted. And all the while, the games are tracking what you do, keeping tabs on what you like, and then feeding those preferences back to you to make you buy more or play for longer. Because, as the news report last night said, it's all about getting you hooked. It's like streaks on Snapchat, or the rewards you get on Pokemon Go. It's a sneaky way for the makers of the app to keep you coming back to their service. And each time you do, they collect more information about you. With $150 billion, that's billion with a B, collected by game companies last year, just thanks to microtransactions, there are calls by politicians to create laws now which better control the sorts of games and in-game tactics that young Aussies are exposed to. If you're interested to know more, I've stuck a link to the special report into gaming in today's episode notes.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Portugal, a country just next to Spain in Europe, where the world's longest footbridge has been built. It's 0.5 kilometre in length. It stretches across a deep valley, and it takes pedestrians on a slightly scary journey 175 metres above a river flowing below. Locals in the village of Aruca, where the bridge has been built, have had the chance to cross it, and most of them have done so very slowly and very carefully. The second longest pedestrian bridge in the world is in Switzerland, and the third longest one is in Japan. I stuck a link in today's episode notes to photos of the new bridge. If you're not a fan of heights, maybe give it a miss.
Animal Kingdom.
You've heard of grizzly bears, right? And you've heard of polar bears. But have you heard of pizzly bears or growler bears? Because they're an actual thing, and they're what you get when you cross a polar bear with a grizzly bear, which, according to scientists, is something that's happening more and more as the two species of bear increasingly cross paths. Scientists in North America have found increasing numbers of pizzlies as the habitats of polar bears and grizzlies start to overlap more often. You see, as the climate warms, polar bears are venturing further south in search of food, and grizzly bears are travelling further north. And sometimes, when they meet at feeding sites, they breed and produce what is called hybrid offspring. Half polar bear, half grizzly, a pizzly. There's a link in today's episode notes to photos of the curious new creature.
Pop Culture Corner.
If you're a sci-fi fan, you'll know that today is a special one. May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day, because May the 4th be with you. Get it? And to celebrate, the internet is going to be awash with celebrations of one of the most successful film franchises of all time. What's a film franchise? It's a collection of movies all featuring the same vague storyline and a revolving cast of characters. Whether it's a Star Wars t-shirt, some Star Wars Lego, or even a Star Wars rice cooker that you're after, there's a piece of Star Wars merchandise for everyone. My favourite Star Wars commemorative tie-up is most definitely the donut shop in Wales that today is offering a Princess Leia 4-pack of donuts for anyone wanting to stick them on the sides of their head and recreate her iconic hairdo.
Time for the Squiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Which country has the world's longest pedestrian bridge? That's right, it's Portugal. Question number 2. What do you get when you cross a polar bear with a grizzly bear? Yeah, you get a pizzly. Question number 3. What international day is it today? That's right, it's Star Wars Day.
Shout-outs.
It's May 4. As well as being Star Wars Day, today is International Firefighters Day, where we are all encouraged to stop and give thanks to the brave men and women whose job it is to fight fires. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Michaela from Ashmont, Maisie from Richmond, Mila from Breakfast Point, Sydney from Oxley, Georgie from Emu Plains, Jace from Aberfoyle Park, Layla from Williamston, Emmy from Abbotsford, Vincent from Melbourne, Sofina from Bellevue Heights, and Eric, who's listening all the way over there in Gdansk in Poland. And some belated birthday shout-outs too to Brendan from Sydney, Margaret from Nelson Park, and Azim from Minto. And today's classroom shout-outs go to Miss Lucon's 6-7 class from Wallaroo Primary School, Class 5-6N and Miss North from Dobroyd Point Public School, Class 5 White from Holy Family Primary School in Gowrie, Class 5 at Snowy Valley School, and the 5-6 Legends from Trinity Catholic School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. You know the drill. We'll be back again tomorrow, but in the meantime, I want you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.